Are talent and hard work the only things required to perform at the highest levels? Not exactly. According to a study by Howe Davidson and Sloboda, innate gifts do not determine success because everybody at the top has those physical attributes. Top performers use something called deliberate practice to achieve greatness. In this video, we'll go over how they did it and what you can learn from it. Number 10. Nadia Comaneci. When the International Gymnastic Federation made their code of points, they didn't think someone could ever score a perfect 10. That's until Nadia Comaneci came along. At the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, she shocked the world by being the first gymnast to ever hit a perfect score, and not once, but 7 times. To understand how insane that was, the scoreboard wasn't even programmed to show a perfect 10, so they showed 1.00 instead. For the audience, it seemed like she was defying the laws of physics. For her, it was just a routine she practiced thousands of times before. Deliberate practice is purposeful and systematic. It's when you make small and achievable steps toward meaningful improvement. Oh, and did we mention she was only 14 at the time? Number 9. Carl Lewis. He's an American-born athlete who managed to be number 1 in the world at the 100-meter and long jump at the same time, and also win 4 consecutive Olympic titles. Here's what his coach had to say. Everyone used to criticize Carl Lewis, saying he didn't have a good start, but praise him for his great kick. Absolutely wrong. Carl spread his energy evenly. So what can we learn from this? Too many people think that working your ass off is the way to go. But according to a research paper by the Business Roundtable, overworking is, if anything, a waste of time. Number 8. Lionel Messi. For football fans everywhere, he doesn't need any introduction. Messi holds the record for the most goals in La Liga, the Supercopa de España, the UEFA Super Cup, and is the player with the most official recorded assists in football history. According to Craig Friedman, the Performance Innovation Team Director at Athletes Performance, Messi is faster with the ball at his feet than the defenders are without the ball. His training revolves around the elements that make him the most agile: explosiveness, stability, and technique. Knowing exactly what will make you better and targeting those specific areas will have the greatest returns. Number 7. Michael Phelps. He's the most successful and most decorated Olympian of all time and broke a total of 39 world records during his career as a competitive swimmer. According to his coach, Bob Bauman, what makes Michael Phelps special is his mental game. He writes his goals down in the form of times for various races, and he visualizes himself swimming the whole race, both from his perspective and from the audience. This is something that we've said countless times before. Writing down your goals and constantly checking them is super important to making sure you're always in the right place, both mentally and physically. Number 6. Serena Williams. She is one of the most dominant tennis players in history, winning more Grand Slam single titles than any other athlete, man or woman. The great thing to take away from Serena's training is her ability to adapt. In an interview with Fitness Magazine, she said, "For me, it's so important to mix it up. I ran and then I biked, then I did elliptical. That didn't work out so well because it was boring, so I tried yoga. It's super important to know when and how to pivot when things are not working out. Like Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over but expecting different results." Number 5. Michael Jordan. We're starting this one off with a quote we love. "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to make the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." He's a great example of not giving up when things don't go your way. We went into great detail on how athletes reach the peak of their potential in our premium learning experience, Goal Mastery. We use the same approach to build everything we have in life, including ALUX. Goal setting and ways of achieving them is something that most people struggle with on a daily basis. How many of you already quit on your New Year's resolutions? For the past 1.5 years, we've carefully crafted everything we found that works into this course, and it's available right now. Go to goalsbyalux.com and enroll now. Number 4. Usain Bolt. What can you learn from the fastest man alive? There's a lot of science behind it. The 100-meter sprint is a very interesting sport because since it lasts under 10 seconds at the highest level, it can be broken down into very specific phases, which can then be analyzed in great detail. We won't go super sciencey on you, but the great takeaway is this. You'd think that sprinters are super fast because they swing their legs faster than anyone else. In reality, however, the reason why they're so fast is because they hit the ground harder than anyone else. A study by Peter Weyand, a physiologist on human speed at Southern Methodist University in Texas, showed that the more force a sprinter can back into the ground, the faster he or she will go. For Usain Bolt, he hits the track with about 1,000 pounds of force. For comparison, Conor McGregor's punch packs about 850 pounds of force. So if Usain Bolt stepped on you while he was sprinting, you'd get knocked out harder than if Conor McGregor punched you. But what does this have to do with you? Sometimes what pushes you forward isn't obvious when you first look at the problem, but modern tracking tools can help you figure out exactly where to improve. Number 3. Roger Federer. Let's take a look at another tennis player who, to this date, has won 82% of his matches. We didn't just randomly include him in this list. There's a very important topic we want to address, and Roger Federer is a perfect example. When the stakes are high, emotions can cripple you. In his early years, Federer was a really hot-headed guy and would often let his emotions get the best of him. There are even compilations here on YouTube of him smashing rackets. He decided to get a sports psychologist to help with his mental state, and he's come a long way since. In a 2009 story from the New York Times, it was stated that if he had not learned to control his emotions and gain a sturdier mental approach when he was younger, Federer could have easily gone the way of Marat Safin, supremely talented, but unable to convert pure skill into greatness. What we can learn from Federer is to always pay close attention to your mental fortitude. You're in it for the long run, and you'll need it. Number 2. Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson famously stated he would lose a match against Ali any day. He was just a dead game guy. He was dead game. He had too much pride. He refused to lose. To take a quote from John Wick, Ali was a man of focus, commitment, and sheer effing willpower. Muhammad Ali was someone who actually hated training, but he believed it was better to suffer the pain now and live the rest of your life as a champion. And sometimes, no matter how much you plan and strategize, there will be moments where sheer effing willpower is needed to move forward. Number 1. Wayne Gretzky. We think you're really gonna love the last entry on our list. Wayne Gretzky has never been the fastest, strongest, or most athletic hockey player out there. Actually, when he first entered the league, critics said he was too small, too wiry, and too slow to be a force in the NHL. He consistently was the last in strength tests, and a lot weaker compared to the average NHL player. Despite this, though, he went on to become the greatest hockey player of all time, and some even say the greatest athlete to ever walk the earth. There's even a statue of him outside the Staples Center. So, how did he manage to pull this off? Wayne learned the game better than his phone number. 9 out of 10 people think it's instinct, and it isn't. Nobody would ever say a doctor had learned his profession by instinct, yet in my own way, I've put in almost as much time studying hockey as a medical student puts into studying medicine. He learned the game so well and studied so many plays that he could react instantly to any kind of situation. For his opponents, it seemed like he could see into the future. He could accurately predict what was about to happen way before his opponents decided what they were going to do. It was basically impossible to catch him off guard. He had more assists in his career than any other NHL player, plus goals. He could have not scored a single goal in his entire career and still be the NHL all-time points leader. A true master of the game and man among boys. So, what can you learn from him? Sometimes, even though you can't face the situation head-on, you can always outplay it by learning how the game works. Hey Luxers, we hope you got your dose of motivation from this video. How do you plan to tackle your goals? Which strategies are you going to use? Share with us in the comments. And as for your bonus, we've got you covered. Start turning your goals into reality. As a thank you for watching this video until the end, we're offering you $100 off on our Goal Mastery course. Go to goalsbyalux.com and enter my goal to get the deal. We'll see you on the inside.